All right, welcome. I wanted to make this video, and it's going to be titled, if you haven't already, please forgive yourself. The point of this video, the purpose of it overall, is to give you a friendly reminder and encouragement to forgive yourself. You know, a lot of times nowadays we ask for people's forgiveness, we want to be forgiven, and it's good. But there's times where people may have even forgiven us, that people have even at least moved on from a situation, and it's a mistake you may have very well done, but you may have not even forgiven yourself. And it's very important for you to forgive yourself and make amends with that, because it's imperative for you to move on, right? Let's get into the actual benefit of it. Let's talk about why you should do it. So self-forgiveness from the physical side is associated with better sleep. Overall, which helps your overall health, mental state as well. And then transitioning to mental state, actually, psychologically, it helps lower levels of anxiety, depression, and even PTSD. So people that forgive themselves are often associated with being more optimistic, more hopeful, and looking forward to the future. So it can have those benefits on you. Neuroscience suggests that certain parts of the brain, when it's activated, when you self-forgive, or even actually in forgiving others, it enables the actual brain to not be so hostile. It reduces the amount of like hostility, anger. So there's a lot of benefit in it, of forgiving yourself, if only you knew, and even forgiving others. And the reason why I made this video is, more than anything, again, this is just a reminder for myself. There's a lot of times individuals may feel as though, oh man, I have all this thing in me, like, oh, I made that one mistake, I shouldn't have done it. And they countlessly are thinking about this one mistake. And it's a mistake, rightfully so. It's actually a mistake. It's genuinely something you did wrong. You regret it. You were completely in the wrong. You agree to it. But it's you keep replaying it in their head. It's not good for you. Because if you keep replaying it, first of all, the fact that you keep replaying it is you're putting your body through that whole thing again. And you're stuck and fixated on that. And you tend to mess up your own identity, you know. And in a world where we're looking for, you know, getting better, improving, you're going to make mistakes along the way. You're going to make big mistakes along the way. And that's actually life, man. You're going to make huge mistakes, stuff that you might regret, stuff that where people look differently on you. I get it. But you have to move on, man. It's a new day, right? Like, there's new things to acquire, new things to accomplish. If it's really getting to you, I mean, you can always take small steps back into it, like I always say. And what I mean by that is, if it's hard for you to, maybe it's hard for you to go up to someone and apologize of something you did wrong, or maybe it's your ego, whatever it is, or maybe the person is no longer there, or anything that happened. Maybe it was a stranger across the street, you did something wrong. The point I'm trying to make is about you. And first step is you got to be able to forgive yourself in order to move on from the situation. I know that feeling of replaying those moments, like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I shouldn't have done that. Why wasn't I thinking? And this messes up your identity, I'm telling you, because you now attribute yourself, or you now hesitate to try new things because of this one mistake you made. And because of that, it stagnates your ability to try new things, explore, learn, and grow. The reality is if you just substitute the word with like a mistake with growth and learning and development, I think your approach to it might change. Let's say you went up to someone back in school time and you said something that, damn, like, I shouldn't have said that. And now that it hinders the relationship between you and that person. And now you keep replaying. This is something that happened 5 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, or even 6 years ago, 10 years ago. like I've fallen victim to it too, where I've thought about something I've done way back. I forgot. Oh yeah, I was a kid, man. I was so young. I made the mistake. I own up to it. But I was young, man. I was learning, and I can't knock myself. And when you start to forgive yourself, outside of the actual benefits, you start to allow yourself to move on. See, a lot of times when you replay these scenarios, it messes up your nervous system, it messes up your body, it messes up the way you think. Again, it messes up the way you think about yourself. And, you know, I want to give credit to my wife, because she used to tell me stuff and I would say, no, I can't do that. I don't want to get into, let's say hypothetically, she'd give me like a cup of tea. And I was like, she's like, let's have a cup of tea. Let's have this for breakfast every morning. I was like, no. I'm a, what's that word? I like a habit. I forgot. Sorry, it's not coming to the top of my head, but I got that where I will habitually keep doing it. I'll keep doing it every single day. And I'm someone that has strong habit, like a daily habit. So if I do that, if I drink this tea, I'm gonna want it. Like if I have orange pico tea, I'm gonna want it every single day from now on. And I'm an excessive. I forgot what it was called. Sorry, I'm forgetting the word. But nonetheless, let's say she wanted to give me something for breakfast every day. And I'll go, no, I don't want it every day. I don't even want it at all, because I know myself. I'm gonna get addicted to it. And she told me, she was like, I live with you, like I know you, and you're not someone that just, you're strong enough to break through that. So don't make yourself that. You know, your identity. She was trying to insinuate that your identity is not who you think you are, and for no reason you're messing up the way you think to say, oh, I am that someone that I can't control it, I can't do this. And maybe I was and I think that was because I had one situation where I built a habit, and it wasn't a good habit, and whatever it was, nothing serious, but it was something where I was like, oh man, I don't want this to be another thing I get a habit in. So I didn't even trust myself to just try something new, and it wasn't harmful. And it really opened my eyes that, yeah, man, my wife was right, because my identity changed about myself. Like I wasn't like that before. I wasn't hesitant to try new things. I was open to trying new things. It was how I perceived myself, and then I limited myself. And it's beautiful, man. There's someone actually in jail. I was watching an interview one time, and he was saying, you know, the mistakes that I made, like the crimes that I did, the people forgave me. And my family, like I asked forgiveness from my family, I asked forgiveness from everyone, but I didn't forgive myself. And I finally forgave myself in the when I was in jail, in the penitentiary. And it's such an eye-opening fact, is that if you really take time to reflect, you got to forgive yourself, man, because it's so sad. You spend every single, when you actually think about it, like take a step back outside of yourself, is you're spending every single day, or every however often, just reflecting on these little moments. Like they were literally a little moment. Maybe let's say it was a couple minutes, that situation that happened. And because of that, it stayed with you. Just let it go. And once you let it go, it allows you to finally move on. It's not stuck here in your head. Just let it go and be free. Because the reality is I always say this, it's better to at least go out and try life and learn from life, including the mistakes. And it's sad. Yeah, you might make mistakes on the way. It might mess up your image and how you perceive yourself. But the challenge is getting over that too. If I always tell myself, okay, how I get over the things I think about now, like I still make really interesting, funny, embarrassing mistakes nowadays too. I'm not perfect now, but what I do now to help myself get over it is I tell myself, okay, you made that mistake, that happened, I own up to it, it's cool. But had I stayed in my room and hadn't done anything and just stayed safe in my room, not taking any risk, and didn't go out and experience this thing of life, I wouldn't have learned anything. So at least I went out and I learned something of what not to do. That's how I see it. Is a mistake is a mistake. Own up to it is cool. But it's part of your development, man. That's how you get better. Then you can help someone else. You can help yourself in the future, because now you have an actual experience where you saw the result of, oh, I shouldn't have done it that way. It could be really helpful doing this because it changes the way you think, again, trying new things. And yeah, man, I just wanted to emphasize this because I feel as though there's a lot of people that probably, I'm just assuming, haven't forgiven themselves. And it's tough. And it's a new day. Like, whatever happened, maybe there's a different unique scenario. Maybe there's something else that happened in those circumstances that's not the circumstances now. Maybe you were going through a lot. You weren't thinking clearly. Maybe there was a health thing. Maybe there was whatever it may be. But you change your identity. When you change your identity, you limit yourself and hinder yourself from trying new stuff and exposing yourself. The key to growth, the key to development is actually trying new things and then being consistent in finding things you like and even the things you don't like. So that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to talk about. And yeah, like, if you haven't already, please forgive yourself. It could be really helpful for you. It might be a great opportunity, and it is waiting at your door just for you to forgive yourself. And it's a lot easier than you think. And some people maybe do better in writing it down. Some people maybe do better in talking it out, like telling someone, like a neutral person, about the situation. Some people do better in actually reaching out to the person or trying to fix the thing they did. Maybe that's your way of doing it. But whatever it is, take small steps, or maybe just literally talking to yourself and saying, from now on, I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to move on from the situation. It's hard. I get it. But this stuff has been linked for people that have done serious things too, like with PTSD. And when they forgave themselves, it allowed them to really get better. And I think it's something that you should be doing too. And it's something that you don't have to do much to do. You just have to change the way you think. And it can enable you to be a lot more greater and successful than you think. So if you haven't already, please forgive yourself, move on, and stay positive. Peace.